about 3:30 or 4.
Yeah. What brings you here so early? Like, why do you really want to see this talk?
I mean, I'm a philosophy student. I've been studying Judith Butler for most of my academic career, and I've read a lot of her work on gender, but I've never really had a lot of time to read about what she thinks about this issue, about Israeli Apartheid and about nations. I'm really interested in how she's going to talk about, like, because I know she comes from a Jewish background, and how she's going to sort of talk about the conflation with a Jewish identity and a Zionist identity, and how people portray her as a bad Jew when in fact she believes that she's being a good Jew by questioning state violence. So I just think, and it's a great opportunity to see someone who doesn't come here often.
When did you officially support BDS, like in a public way?
About the issue probably for the last 6 years, and then I decided to sign a couple of years ago.
Did anything in particular trigger you to decide to, take a more public stand and support it?
Yes, I think I saw in relationship to several bombardments that the Israeli state had conducted in southern Lebanon, in Gaza, and various reports of imprisonment and harassment on the West Bank as well. I came to the conclusion that the Israeli state was unwilling to comply with international law in fundamental ways. And I understood boycott, divestment, and sanctions as a movement that seeks to hold a state accountable to international law when there are no existing international bodies that will do so, and when existing nation states also lack the efficacy or the will to do so. So I understood BDS as the only way that citizens can exercise the power to call for the enforcement of international law.
How important do you think it is for academics to take a stand on this issue?
Well, I think academics have to ally with other cultural workers, with artists and other public figures who are regularly invited to Israeli institutions or to collaborate on projects in Israel. And what became clear to me after I visited Israel in 2004 was that if I spoke at an Israeli institution, that institution would claim that I'm against the boycott. And actually, there was no way to speak, for me to speak, without my speaking being understood as a political position on boycott. So for several years, I just decided I would not go back because I didn't want to be instrumentalized by these various Israeli institutions as an anti-boycott person. And then when I worked out my own position at the BDS movement, some of its positions, I was able to take an explicit stand. And now I will go to Palestine. I'll speak at Birzeit or other Palestinian institutions. I visit the Freedom Theater in Jenin, and I collaborate with a number of people in women's studies at Birzeit University, but I will not speak at an Israeli institution. And I think that, if there was an Israeli institution that came out explicitly against the occupation and that really, really held to that position publicly and consistently, I would consider speaking at such an institution. But to speak at an institution that does not oppose the occupation is to participate in the normalization of the occupation. So it's impossible at this point in history.
Thank you very much.